In this review, we're going to be looking at two of the Jurassic Park Amber Collection series figures. We have Dr. Ian Malcolm and the man with three first names, John Raymond Arnold. These figures are made by Mattel. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. On each figure, the same type of box. You have the asymmetrical cut, kind of making it look like an amber crystal on the box, kind of carved out of stone. One of the nice things too, you see on the box, you see there's embossed fossils onto the box. You see on the side you got bones and the skeletal here, claw here. You have like the little cracks in the amber shining through. On the back of each box, you'll have a still of each character from the movie. And you'll have John Raymond Arnold's bio. And you have Dr. Ian Malcolm's bio. On the bottom of the box, you'll have your standard legalese and copyrights barcodes. And your barcode for John Raymond. On the top of the boxes, you just have the hooks for hanging on the pegs. And on the side of the boxes, you'll have the Jurassic Park logo on one side, Amber Collection on the other. Like as previously pointed out, to the embossed fossils on this side. Here we have the figures in their tray. You can see all the accessories that come with them. Ian comes with a walkie-talkie, a roadside flare, a cup of water, 2 alternate hands. John comes with a headset, a severed arm, 2 alternate hands, and a desktop computer. In case you're not old enough to remember this is what desktop computers used to look like. You had a huge, thick monitor and a tower. Here we have both figures free from the plastic tray. Let's take a quick look at their accessories. We have the severed arm for John. As if you don't know, spoilers by now, he gets eaten by the raptors. 2 alternate hands. In the packaging, it comes with 2 grip style hands, tight grip hands. And he also has glasses, which are actually glued to the figure. But they actually look really good. They're very translucent, so a lot of times when they try to do clear, transparent glasses on the figures this scale, they end up being like milky, hazy looking. These look really good. And he also has a desktop computer. I kind of would like to see like the no on the screen instead of the map. That be good for like a little, if you do any ACBA or anything like that. It's a nice little accessory to add to your 1/12 collection accessories. If you want to do a period style piece, because that is one big old school monitor. So you'd have to sit with a period piece, which of course will go with this character's fine, since this is from that era. And a headset. With Ian, he also has some glasses. His is more like a sunglasses. I don't think they did as good a job on his, because you see a little paint on the lens over here. They're also glued onto the figure. And you have the roadside flare. They did a nice job with using translucent plastic and painting the flare. This is like with the Profit Director Destro with the burning money. This is exactly what I said with what they should have done with Profit I'm just going to call him Pimp Daddy Destro. It's a lot easier to say than Profit Director Destro. This is done really well. You can see like in my lights, it catches that translucent plastic really well and lights it up. Looks nice. It has 2 alternate hands. One is a grip hand for the other accessory. It's for the cup of water. Holds it really well. And last is a walkie-talkie. Mattel did a really good job with these figures. The likeness, I think, was done really well. It looks like a younger Samuel L. Jackson from this time period. I like the sculpt. It looks like they actually made the hair a separate piece, which makes it always looks a little better when you do that style. The eyes are painted well. The mustache is painted well. I like the pinstriping on the shirt. Looks good, and the ties paint nicely. And you have the Jurassic Park logo on his lab coat. All the paint and detail is really nice on this figure. Let's see how easy it is to change out the hands. Popped out really easy. Pop a new one in. One of the features too with John is actually arm is detachable. And they actually paint it with a little bloody stump. That's what the deal with the accessory is. He gets killed by the raptors. Been kind of cool if you actually could attach some way to attach this on here and make it like where it's removable. But I checked the other arm, it is not removable. 99% of the time, I don't like these bicep cuts when they're just straight across. They look like what they call spinning meat. Where you got the red in here, you can actually see we're cutting his arm. For the feature that they're going with, this works, but it's still very ugly. When you articulate the joint, it really breaks the sculpt. These types of bicep cuts are very ugly. One thing you notice too, though, these are seamless, pinless joints on both the legs and the arms. You go through all this effort to do nice, clean, seamless joints, and you give us spinning meat bicep cuts. Kind of weird. Let's look at Ian right quick. Same with the John figure. They captured Samuel L. Jackson. They really captured Jeff Goldblum pretty well with his figure. They actually did it. You crazy bastards. He also has the same type of joint on the arms. That's very clever, though. They hit it a little bit with this one, where he's got rolled up sleeves. They put the bicep cut at the cuff where the sleeves are rolled up. So it's still breaking the sculpt, but it's at a natural point of the design of the sculpt. But it's still quite ugly. But the figure is painted well. He's got his watch painted. And the boots, I like the way the boots, actually weathered the boots to make them look like they're dirty. The silver details on the side. The sculpting for the chain is very fine, and they actually matched up the paint really well. It looks good. Now let's look at articulation. I'll start with Sam Jackson first. See if the articulation is the same on both figures. The neck joint is limited. You can't really get them to look up or down, but it does rotate, but it's very tight. I almost feel like I'm going to break that. After the view, I'll probably end up heating, popping the head off and taking my Dremel and taking a little bit of material out of the socket on the head, free that up a little bit, because I'm afraid I'm going to break that peg on that neck joint. Disc hinge shoulders, they go up this far, full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You can reach up to his glasses with no problem. Hinge and swivel wrist. He has a diaphragm joint instead of a standard ab crunch, so you can go back this far. The coat restricts it, the rubber material. You can crunch forward just a little bit. There's a waist twist. Hinge hips kick out to the side, forward, back just a little bit. Thigh rotation, double joint knees. Go all the way up. Hinged ankles. There's no ankle pivots, but you got a little bit of twist. If it wasn't for the sculpt of the pants, I think this joint would rotate. Let's check with Ian. Ian, his head is a little more freed up. It rotates just fine, but it still has the limitation of the neck. You can basically just look forward and down a little bit. Disc hinge shoulders up to here, full 360, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, reach the top of the head just fine. Hinge and swivel wrist, diaphragm joint for the instead of a regular ab crunch, he's got the diaphragm joint too. Back this far, forward this far, waist twist. Hinged hips, kick out this far, does a full Van Damme, kicks up forward this far, none to the back, thigh rotation, double joint knees, hinged ankles. Go down, up, and the ankle joint swivels. There's no ankle pivots. With these being my first two Ember Collection figures, I just want to see how they scaled with other figure lines. Here they are with a couple of Marvel Legends MCU style suited bodies. We have Bruce Banner, a younger style Sam Jackson from the Captain Marvel movie. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Captain America and 80th anniversary Iron Man. Here they are with 80th anniversary Hulk and a Bucky cap. Here they are with a DC Multiverse Rebirth Superman and a DC UC Superman. Here they are with Loose Collector's Lady Death and a Thundercats Jackalman. After the comparison with the other figures, it does look like these scale a little bit larger than the standard Marvel Legends DC UC style figures. I would say these are closer to more like WWE scale figures, or they're closer to the 7-inch scale. But with that, they're still great looking figures. They're well done. One thing I did notice with the sculpting helps with stability of the figures. They have huge feet. These feet are huge in comparison to the rest of the figure, so you shouldn't have any problem standing these figures up. Like I'm sure, like a lot of people were curious with, I was curious about getting these and see if I can actually get some other like street clothes characters they can display, like doing displays in my collection with my other superheroes. And I like Jurassic Park. I wasn't really too interested in getting the characters from the movie, but these are nice. I may end up getting the rest of the line just to have a Jurassic Park display, but it would really, to me, I would have liked them a lot better if they scaled better with Marvel Legends and DC UC other stuff. Of course, these could also scale well with McFarlane's DC Multiverse line. I don't have any of those yet, but these possibly could scale with those, since those are closer to a 7-inch scale or a lot larger. But all in all, I'm still real happy with these figures. I'm glad to add them to my collection. I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch the review. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.